Hey everybody, this is Mr. Storm, and in this video we are going to talk about pages. And specifically, I want to talk about the rich text editor. I'll explain what that means in a minute. But first, what is a page? A page in Canvas allows us to essentially put content. I'm sure we've seen something that kind of looks like this so far. We've seen it quite a few times, actually, when looking at discussions or quizzes or assignments. This kind of editor has popped up. But notice that there are no options down here for due dates or how many points this thing is worth. That's because pages are essentially just think of them as an individual web page in a website. That's kind of what your Canvas course is. It's a website for all the content you're publishing, and a page is just that. It's a web page within that website. Okay, so let's talk about the rich text editor. When I say rich text editor, I mean this thing here that has all of these options and available features for creating text. I could start typing text into this text box. This is some text. And this text can be formatted in a lot of different ways. I can highlight that text, and I can change the font size, make it nice and big, make it nice and small, whatever I want to do. I can change its style here. So instead of paragraph, I can make it a heading 2, which, because I've changed the font size, it's gonna, oh, hold on a second. What is going on here? Let's get rid of that. I was playing around with the options and it kind of made some issues, made some problems. All right, so that is header 2, or that's a heading. I can change it to pre-formatted text, which I use a lot whenever I'm writing code into these lessons. But most of the things you're going to use are heading 2, heading 3, and paragraph. I can make this text bold. I can make it italicized. I can underline the text. I can change the color of the text itself. Okay. I can change the highlight behind the text so that it has kind of a background. I can change the text style to superscript or subscript, meaning I can say superscript and then type some stuff up here, or I can say subscript and type some stuff down there below that, right? So that is essentially what real text editing means. Now, one thing that we're going to talk about in another video is that this real text editor is actually creating HTML code. HTML code is the code that determines what a web page looks like, or what is on the web page, essentially, how a web page is structured. I teach it a lot in my web development classes. We're going to talk about HTML editing in another video, but that's essentially what you're doing. You're creating HTML code. There's some other things that we can do here, but let's take a look at these options up here really quickly. I can use basic edit options, undo, cut, copy, paste, all of those things here. In the view, I can change it to full screen so that I have a lot of space here to edit, or I can change it to HTML editor where I can write HTML code. Let me go back to the normal screen. I can insert options. So there are a lot of different things that I can insert. I can insert links, images, media, documents, equations, tables, and embed other things and horizontal lines. So we're going to do all of these in this video. I'm going to show you how to do all of these. All of your formatting options that we just looked at, you have here. Plus you have other more detailed options that you can use to format your text, change your font sizes, aligning your font properly, change the directionality of your font. All of that stuff is there. We have tools. I can check my word count to see how many words I've typed. I can link to other third-party apps that I have available to my Canvas account. And I can create a quick table. There's an insert table option here, but table will actually give me more options for tables as well. Some of those features are repeated here. As a matter of fact, all of those features are repeated here. So there's not really a whole lot that we need to talk about with some of these because they're exactly the same as what we just saw there. All right, so we know we can write some text, but let's take a look at embedding images or inserting images into this real text editor. The way you want to insert an image is you're going to click this option here that looks like a picture. You can upload an image, use a course image, or user images. So user images are going to be things like images that I have assigned to my user account. So my profile picture, for example. I can add that into the real text editor, and I can even change the size of that image. I can click on image options to give me more options over here. I can change the alt text. And alt text is essentially just the text that shows up in screen readers whenever someone is using a screen reader to read your web page. This is usually used by blind people or seeing impaired people who can't quite see the images. The alt text will read out what the image is. Decorative image basically is an image that's not essentially attached to your web page. And if it doesn't show up, it's not that big of a deal. But we're just going to leave decorative image alone. I can also, instead of showing the image itself, I can say just display the text link. And that way, whenever I click on the link, it'll open in another page, but it won't actually show the page here. Let me get my image back. Okay, there we go. And we'll go back to image options. I can change the size of the image to a large, small, medium, whatever, or I can come in here and actually change it to be a specific size. I like using percentages for things like headers or things that I want to go across the entire screen, because a 100% width on an image is going to make it kind of crazy. Let's see what that does. Now the image is stretched across the entire page, which is great for a header, but probably not great for a picture of me. So I can go back to pixels and I'll make it nice and small. And again, we can click and drag these handles to make them bigger or smaller. Okay, cool. One thing we can also do is I can have this image selected and I can create a link. So just like we can create a link with text, I can choose to either do an external link or a course link. And in course link, I can choose pages that I have, assignments, quizzes, discussions, whatever. We can do the same thing with an image. So I can set an image to be a link. Let's make this an external link. And external links will take you to specific web pages on the internet. So I'm going to make mine go to my YouTube channel. So I will grab that link there and done. And so now, oh, I have to enter a title for the page. So now whenever I click on that, I can click on that button. It's now a button, essentially, and go to my YouTube channel. Okay, perfect. So what we can do is we can actually find buttons. Let's do this. Let's find some buttons. We're going to talk about this in, actually, you know what? I will save that for our design lesson. Now we know how to do it. We'll talk about in more depth how to do that later. So again, with links, you have multiple choices. You have course link or external link. Let's take a look at the link options we have. Notice that links in Canvas courses all follow the same kind of link structure. You have umavp.instructure.com/courses, and then the course itself has a specific number, and then the type of thing that you want to link to, so pages, and then the actual name of the page itself. So I could actually just change that to whatever I want if I know the name of it, or I can come in here and change it to be, no, not external. Let's do course link. To change it just by clicking and then finding the thing. If I want to go to a specific module, I can do that, and that link will take me to the module. If I want to go to a specific part of the course itself, like maybe I want this to go to, I don't know, my announcements page, then I can have that happen. And all I'm doing is just clicking. It's pretty easy to set this up. So now I have a link to my announcements page. Perfect. All right. So that's images and links. Let's talk about media. So this upload record media is going to allow me to either drag a media file in here, or I can click record. It'll pull up my webcam, which I'm not going to do right now. Pull up my webcam and actually record a message and upload that directly into the page. Now, I would recommend maybe not using this feature as much as you might think. Here's why. Every Canvas course has a set number of, or has a set, let's say, file limit. And if you are uploading your own videos to this Canvas course, if you're uploading your own videos, and let's say you upload 20 videos, you may go over that file size limit pretty quickly. So what I like to do is I like to embed videos from YouTube, and I'll show you how to do that here in just a moment. Let's talk about documents. Uploading documents is going to be, there are a couple of ways you can do this. You can either upload documents directly from your computer. Let's see if I have a document that's handy that I can upload. I have that CSV file. Let's upload that. See what happens. So I have this CSV file that has all the information that I need for that CSV, or for uploading outcomes. I've uploaded the document, and now I can click on this little link button or this download button to download that file, or I can click on it to view it in a preview. So it shows me the preview of that document, or I can download it. When we talk about embedding here in a minute, you might see that there's a better option, in my opinion, for doing this, but that's, if you want to upload documents, absolutely go for it. Over here, we can link to certain apps. I can link to my Google account and bring in Google Drive apps, but there's an easier way to do that. Here we have alignment, left alignment, center alignment, right alignment. This will change how your content is aligned on your page. We can create bullets. Let's go back to the left align. We can create bullets here. So bulleted lists of content. We could also, instead of bullets, we can change it to ABC, 1, 2, 3, Roman numerals, squares if we want to. So there's all kinds of formatting options we can use here. We can change our indentation here as well. This will allow us to clear the formatting from a specific set of text that we have selected. Tables. Let's talk about tables. Tables work just like tables will in, let's say, Microsoft Word, right? As you can probably see, a lot of this stuff is about the same as Microsoft Word. For a table, you would just pick, how big do I want the table to be? Do I want it to be 6 columns by 4 rows? Okay, great. And you can create a table, add some content, right? But there are a lot of options that go into tables. I can delete entire columns if I want to, just by hovering over delete column and clicking the button. And notice that it automatically resizes itself. If I want the table to not take up so much space, I can resize it manually, and it will keep that manual resizing even if I delete columns. I can delete rows as well by clicking that button. I can add columns and rows if I want. But there are even better options that I can play with if I go to table properties. Table properties will give me the option to change, let's say, the width. Maybe I want it to be around 50%. The height, I can change it, let's say 200 pixels. I can give the cell some spacing and padding. So I'll say 10 pixels of spacing and 10 pixels of padding. Let's make my border nice and fat, give it a 5 pixel border. Show caption, sure, why not? Alignment, let's align it to the center. Let's go to advanced. Border style, I want to give it a dotted border. The border color is going to be red, and the background color is going to be weird green. There we go. I have my new table that's all set up, and I have space for a caption. ugly table. Now, I've seen a lot of teachers use tables to organize their links on their homepage. This is the perfectly reasonable thing to do, right? So you can create a table with a bunch of links that you put all of your unit links in here, and then that's on the homepage, and kids can use it to get access to whatever, right? Beautiful, beautiful stuff. Let's talk about equations. So I can put equations into here as well, and there are a lot of options. I have basic operators I can use. I have Greek letters. I have, oh, these are kind of cool. Relationship operators. I have arrows, delimiters, miscellaneous stuff. So if you're a math teacher or you teach some kind of physics or something like that, you may want to play around with this option as well. Now we get to my favorite feature, which is embed. I choose to embed pretty much everything. Embedding, the concept of embedding in web design is essentially the content that you want to show on your page is actually stored somewhere else. And what you're doing is you're creating a little window into that place where it's stored. Here's a really easy example. So let's say I have my YouTube channel here, and I want to embed a video. We'll go to content, and I want to embed this video about quiz rubrics so I can view that video on YouTube. This will work for any video you want, so I can find videos that I enjoy, and I can embed them, even if they're not videos that I've created. Down here at the bottom, first of all, you want to check to see if that video is approved for UtahMilitaryAcademy.org. Our school will filter out certain videos that aren't appropriate. Sometimes the video you want to show, it's totally appropriate, but it gets filtered out for some reason. You can approve it or disapprove it, and if you don't have the rights, you can let me know, and I will. I can look at it and approve or disapprove based on whether or not it's actually appropriate. But if the video has the option to share, the share button right here, you can click share, click embed, and you can get this code. This code, it looks scary. It's really not. It's just HTML code, Control-C to copy that code. And then back over here in the rich text editor, you can grab your embed code option, Control-V to paste, and hit submit. And it will embed that video directly into your page. Now, I said that there is a way to do documents as well. Let me find a document on my, let me bring over my Google Drive. So I have my Google Drive here, and this is the folder where I'm putting all the content for this workshop. I have my question examples. Let's say I want to actually embed this question examples document into my page. What I can do is come down here and click, I think it is share. They changed things around quite a bit. No, it's not. Let's go into the document itself. Here we go. So it is in share, but you have to be in the document. You're looking for publish to web. And what that's going to do is it's going to allow you to make this a public document that can be embedded in other web pages. So I'm going to click the embed option and click publish. Yes. And that's going to give me the code that I need to embed in my page. So I'll come back here, click on the cloud, paste that in. Now, you're probably looking at this going, wow, that is not really great because it's very small. Let me show you what I mean. So the whole document's there, but it's really tiny, right? This is where knowing a little bit of HTML editing is going to help you. So if we go into the page itself, notice that I don't have any options to make it bigger or, oh, hello. Yeah. Oh, there we go. Okay. It's not going to let me do anything here that I want to do. All right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click this HTML button. I'm going to scroll all the way down. Now, again, this looks really, really scary, I know. But all I need to do is look for the iframe. Iframe means it's embedded content, right? So embedded content. The source is the link to the document that is embedded. Width is NAN. I don't want that. I'm going to set my width to be 1000 px for 1000 pixels. And I will set the height to be, let's say, 600 px for 600 pixels. It's basically going to force it to be the size that I want it to be. When I go back to the rich text editor, we will see that now the document is the size that I want it to be. I can even play around with the size just a bit more, but it's a viewable size. It's a size that's usable, and I can actually scroll through the document. Okay. I think that's probably all I want to get into in terms of pages for now. Those are all the options you have available to you. You can embed really anything that is embeddable. You can embed things from SoundCloud. You can embed other websites even if you want. Embedding is a really powerful tool. But as far as the rich text editor, that's pretty much as far as I think I want to go. Next, we're going to get into HTML editing, and we're going to talk a lot more about HTML and how to use it as a Canvas instructor. All right, let me know if you have any questions, and I'll see you next time.